What you're about to witness might be the greatest rebranding in history. This company is in the intersection of AI. The stock price of the company has increased over 1,000% in a year. The first time I got in contact with this company was about 2006 when I bought this beauty, a blue SanDisk MP3 player, 512 megabytes of storage. And for me, this was revolution. I could just put my songs in there and have them all in my pocket. This was pre iPod, I think, and when I read about SanDisk's stock price going up 1,000%, I thought this was must be something special, because to me this was the MP3 company back in the days, and this I thought it might be a story here. Why have I missed this company's rise here? How can it be that a company that should be quite well known is up 1,000% in a year? This was why I wanted to make a deep dive about SanDisk, and what I found was something really special. So this is a video from SanDisk Investor Day 2025, about a year ago, when they announced that they are rebranding the company. I'm going to show you 2 minutes here where SanDisk are talking about what then happened to be one of the greatest rebranding in history. Just watch this for your own sake, and we will talk about it.
Investor Day 2025 for SanDisk.
Today is a significant milestone, and how are we going to succeed as a new company?
We live in a very dynamic world. I mean, what we build is flash storage and something that's in every single device that people use every day, from PCs to smartphones to the cloud they use. We're building the best technology in the world. The world is now infused with AI, and we have a big part in that ecosystem, and we couldn't be more excited about bringing our innovation to life.
I think SanDisk as a separate company unlocks an amazing amount of possibilities for us. We can own our own destiny, we can create value to our customers and to our shareholders, and it's going to be an amazing journey going forward.
We're bringing back SanDisk, and now as an independent company entirely focused on storage semiconductor technologies.
I think the biggest game changer is just being a standalone, NAND flash supplier now, following the separation, and being able to just focus on this industry and what we need to do strategically to enable our customers and hopefully deliver great results for our shareholders too.
I think being our own company will make us much more agile and also more creative.
The biggest change in this chapter is really the technology and the people who are driving.
SanDisk is headed for greatness.
SanDisk is a loved and trusted brand, and now we have a new opportunity to write a whole new chapter of SanDisk.
The very special moment we're going through now, sort of a fairy tale for SanDisk, started about October of 2023. And in the wake of a failed merger, Western Digital, they decided to break up with itself, basically. So this Western Digital was the company that bought SanDisk 2016. You can see here they made acquisition of SanDisk and their flash NAND technology, etc., to become the storage play. You can see here they are very delighted here 2016 to have this transformational combination of storage technology with a robust portfolio of products and solutions that will address basically a lot of important things in the world of computing and mobile devices in terms of storage. So this was the merger back in the days why they bought SanDisk in the first place, Western Digital. And it was everything. It was data storage and growing exponentially every year. So they were ahead of their time. They could see what's happening now already 2016. So it was a smart move, I would say, for Western Digital to buy SanDisk. And it was quite expensive. And Western Digital at the moment, they also had storage. So this was different types of tech, so to speak. But then about 2023, they announced this. They are planning to split its flash memory, which is SanDisk, and their HDD businesses in two companies. And this was to position each franchise to execute innovative technology and product development. And this was what you just saw in the video here, how SanDisk just took moves to be innovative and really differentiate themselves in the flash um, NAND tech. So basically, the casual storage consumers, they might find it odd that they did this split, because why not have everything at the same place? Like they said when they 7 years ago acquired SanDisk. And yeah, but they are saying here that the NAND flash market has been struggling with a glut of inventory for the past few years. Oops, that's SanDisk, leading to massive consumer price cuts. This is so amazing. Just watch this. If you're still with me in this video, this is amazing. Price cuts until 2023 for SanDisk, for flash NAND market. Okay. And multiple big name players losing billions and cutting production. That's insane. Because you just heard me say that SanDisk is up 1,000% in a year with the same technology. Okay, while recent reports indicate that increasing demand and lower production could be leading to a turnaround, it's clear that the solid-state memory markets remains rocky, with several competitors and high prices for the machines and facilities required for production. Okay, so they are not very positive about SanDisk here. Of course, the traditional hard drive market also faces some challenges, but there, Western Digital only needs to compete with Seagate and Toshiba, and with the growth of data centers and AI, demand for enterprise hard drives. So now we're talking about what Western Digital does today after they split the companies. So it's basically more focused on this type of memory, hard drives. And yeah, the profit margins here are much higher than with consumer drives like SanDisk's NAND drives memories. And yeah, they say that this type of market are expected to stay strong through 2028 and possibly beyond. So they wanted to focus, Western Digital wanted to focus on HDD, and because the flash markets are facing their own disparate headwinds, and therefore they decided to do this. So this was not like an altruistic motive from Western Digital to say, oh, here you go, SanDisk, do your best. It was because they thought that the company they bought was weighing on their cash flow, on their growth going forward. So I would say that probably reading this, Western Digital did a huge mistake in selling SanDisk just before the demand for the products exploded. So they already decided here to start to split. And I think when the split finally happened, they probably realized, oh, things are changing, because as you know, all kind of memories for data centers and AI has just increased so much in price. The RAM memory crisis is here. We just have like SK, Unix, Samsung, and Micron doing that kind of memory chips, and this is also memory storage that are needed in, for example, data centers, a different type of, but still very important storage and memory capacity from Western Digital and SanDisk. And obviously SanDisk has a bit more high-end technology here that has really, the demand for that has really been top-notch lately, and that is a part of why the price of the stock after the split has increased over 1,000% in a year. So for some companies, the revenue gains just have to be like 15 or 20%, and that will be the whole margin for the EPS growth. So they might have a 20% revenue growth with small margins, which leads to an earnings per share growth of 300 or 400%. And I think that is what actually has happened with SanDisk. So this is very telling. So a company just 2 or 3 years ago was called "We don't need you anymore" from Western Digital, and today they are the hottest company out there. So this is why it's hard to be an investor, and you have to at least it's easier to be very long term, because if you were very long term and knew about AI storage, you probably in a way could understand and foresee that the tech that SanDisk had would eventually become very useful. It was the same reason I invested in Micron back in the days, but unfortunately for me, when the stock market went a bit lower, I had to sell some companies, and I chose to sell Micron, and it wasn't a good move, but it was quite easy to see that this type of companies would eventually become very useful. And this has happened to SanDisk in the perfect of storms, with the split, with the rebranding, and with the products just being so in demand at the moment. It's just an amazing story. And here you can see why SanDisk's products are really in demand and why they have increased their revenue and especially their earnings per share so much lately. So basically, they have enterprise SSDs that are in the intersection of AI at the moment and compute. From large language models to Internet of Things networks, the data driven economy demands faster, more reliable access to data with solid state technology. And SanDisk, I think 1988 created SanDisk with this. They were really cutting edge in terms of the NAND storage technology and solid state technology. So this is not a company that just random comes here and are good at storage. They have been the best in what they do for a long time. And yeah, they help companies to drive complex, high capacity workloads and application, exactly what companies needs at the moment. And for example, the technology that SanDisk evolved from the beginning, that were putting them in MP3 players, for example, where the first time I heard about SanDisk, was also the type of memory that later Apple put in their iPods, for example, the later generations. So this is a company that is very cutting edge in what they do and has been for a long time. So powered with NVMe, enterprise solid state drives, ESSDs can help accelerate data center workloads, achieve maximum throughput, and transform your data into actionable insights for your whole team. So they are having these flexible solutions that are helping to really making AI feasible in terms of energy consumption and the storage with efficient solutions. So they are just the company that the world needs at the moment. That is why, obviously, that the stock price has really increased very much, and also combining that increase in demand with the rebranding and the perfect timing going off from Western Digital has really made this Cinderella story possible. I would say they also, with their solutions, unlock data center intelligence with key tech, the NAND scaling, OLC flash memory. They enhance the performance across their portfolio, etc. So that's a bit about what they do. Obviously, they have a classic memory cards, USB flash memories, etc. for everyday people. Also, maybe not as much money they're making from that, but still, it's I would say great solutions. You can just plug it into your mobile phone and you can increase your storage. And I think in the future, obviously, with storage being going to be more expensive, cloud storage from Google, Apple, etc., I think having external storage solutions, for example, for SanDisk, will still increase in prices, especially when they own their own technology. So this is a company that are here to stay for some time. Before I continue, I just first want to show you Western Digital's offering, what type of solutions they have in comparison with SanDisk. And I would say after they split the companies, Western Digital's stock price has also increased a lot, not as much as SanDisk, but it's not like their storage business is dead at the moment. Obviously, storage of these type of drives, HDD drives, is also very important in times of growing demand overall for storage in data centers, etc. But still, I think it was, through their perspective, a mistake just cutting off SanDisk, because the solution that SanDisk has is even more cutting edge at the moment. So this is what they have. They have internal HDD drives, large capacity HDDs to support your data centers needs. And yeah, this is more the classic portable drives, that external drives, etc., that they have as a solution. So this is a different technology, while the SanDisk technology is more usable when the products are active, while this is like storage. I think this is how it works, that Western Digital's products are more like when the computer, for example, is not turned on, you still store your information somewhere. You do that, for example, in an HDD storage. If any tech guru out there are watching this video, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but that is, I think, is like how you can differentiate the technologies, one of the ways. So that's that. So here you see the graph of SanDisk Corporation, and in a year, this company is positive 1,044%, and this is almost unheard of. And well, all stocks have some jittery at the moment, based on obviously what's happening in the global world at the moment. Despite that, I would say this story here is something special, and that is what I want to brought up to you today, that you can actually make money in through stocks like SanDisk. It's not just a random play. They deserve the increase in stock price during this year. So that is quite amazing, I would say. I've almost never seen that before, that sometimes I've seen a stock price really increase 1,000%, but maybe not deserved. It's been all hype or something like that. And that was what I thought about this situation also, that they were like, oh, it's the new AI play, it's the new storage play. Oh, Micron are earning a lot of money. What about SanDisk here? They have the NAND technology, storage technology. Maybe we could boost this company and just bring the market cap up. But when I analyzed um, the metrics of the company and compare that with the market cap at the moment, I thought, well, they actually deserve this increase. This company deserves 1,000% plus in a year if we see how much they have increased their revenue and especially their earnings. So this is the type of company that they have a lot of cost for, like their manufacturing, etc. But when they can increase the price 2x or 3x for their products, it will not be a lot of increase in cost of goods sold. It will be an increase in earnings per share, and that is what we see here. Sure, the revenue in per quarter has almost doubled, but you see the earnings from negative to positive, almost $1 billion in one quarter. Just have that during 4 quarters, and you will have $4 billion in earnings. And have a multiple. I think the company at the moment is valued around $83 billion, a multiple of 2025. It's not sky high for a semiconductor company. One good thing with having been divided from Western Digital, and also the revenue. Sure, if we have for one quarter $3 billion, that have that 4 quarters, that's $12 billion, about seven in price through sales. That's not insane either. So it's not like the metrics here are insane for this company. It's not like the valuation is just pumped. I think they actually deserve the type of market cap they have, and I felt like it's sad that I didn't think about this company in terms of AI play sooner. I'm just reactive and amazed by this story, and I can learn something from it, and I hope you can learn also from it, that it is possible through actually doing your own due diligence to find companies that are not just hype, that are actually deservingly going up 1,000% in a year. You and me could have invested in SanDisk after this split and earned this money, and it wouldn't have been random. It would have been deserved. Obviously, going forward, it's harder now to see will this company continue to increase as fast, because it's one thing going from like $9 billion to $90 billion or $83 billion, but it's another thing going from $83 billion to $830 billion. It's a different beast, and they do not have probably that type of capacity in terms of production to increase. So if you want to earn money now in SanDisk, you probably have to analyze what type of manufacturing do they have at the moment. If they're going to increase their NAND flash memory, how much do they have to increase their R&D to have more production facilities out there? Maybe we will go into a new cycle where demand gets lower, so they maybe have to first buy a lot of infrastructure and buy a lot of R&D to expand and actually improve their products and produce more products. And when they are done with that, maybe the AI market will slow down a bit, and the margins for the companies will also decrease. That is why I think it's hard at the moment to say, oh, this company will just continue to increase more and more and more during 5 or 6 or 7 years, even though the demand would still be there. Maybe they don't have the production capacity to just grab all that demand. Maybe all they have at the moment is to continue to make the prices higher, and at some place you will hit the ceiling, and maybe some other big companies like Samsung or something will lower their prices just to mitigate some of that. So I don't know when this company hit the ceiling, but I think we all can learn something from this story. That it's actually possible for a company to increase deservingly 1,000% in a year, and that is what I'm taking with me from today. And this is not a video when I say you should invest in SanDisk at the moment. I just want to show you how they ended up where they are, and that's all it is. So if you like this story, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you want me to continue to provide you with this type of stories and build a community together. Thank you so much.